Muren into Gates. Past the keeper and out by Baxter.
Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day. And with Swansea losing at home to Everton and Spurs drawing at Coventry, it seems most likely that this season's league champion There's also the result of the April Goal of the Month competition, and we start the Goal of the Season competition.
Outside the two games you're about to see, tonight's headlines are made by crowd trouble at Highbury, the scrap at the bottom of Division 1 where Birmingham, Sunderland and West Bromwich Albion all won, and at the top of Division 2 where 7 clubs are still fighting it out to go up with already promoted Luton. They include Norwich, who scored their 8th win in 9 games, and Cup finalist Queen's Park Rangers, who were the day's top scorers in England with 7 goals. Celtic were Scotland's top scorers with 6, and we'll be showing you those goals later.
We look first at the progress of Ipswich Town, still bravely staying on the heels of Liverpool, despite numerous injuries to key players. And that won't concern Middlesbrough, though. Their opponents today, who struggle to avoid relegation, is reaching the desperate stage. Your commentator, John Motson.
Alan Brazil is the supporters' choice as Ipswich Town's Player of the Year. He's scored 24 goals for them so far this season, and after playing in Belfast in midweek, he'll be hoping to celebrate his 23rd birthday on June the 15th by lining up for Scotland in their opening World Cup match against New Zealand in Malaga. He receives the award from John Cobbold, the Ipswich Town director. Today, Brazil is part of an unchanged Ipswich team. Mick Mills has recovered from the injury which kept him out of the England match, and the man who wore the number 4 shirt up to his injury in February, Frans Thijssen, is playing in the reserves and could be back before the season's end. His Dutch colleague Arnold Muren at number 8 is coming to the end of his contract, but talks between him and Bobby Robson have started, and he could well be extending his current run of 130 consecutive appearances. A year ago today, Middlesbrough beat Ipswich to end Ipswich's championship hopes last season and clinch the title for Aston Villa. But now Borough need the points for their own reasons. Their best run of the season, 1 defeat in 8 games, may have come too late to save them. On the Middlesbrough bench, manager Bobby Murdoch on the far side, and next to him, coach Cyril Knowles, the old Tottenham favourite. It's a bright afternoon in East Anglia, but as you can see, quite a breeze swirling around Portman Road. Ipswich in the white shorts, and just look at the condition of this pitch in May. You wouldn't think a full season's football has been played here. Otto getting forward early on, and Shearer's on that side as well. Turning it back to John Craggs. Ipswich have had this run of 8 consecutive home wins. With Steve McCall. Here's Ross. McAndrew trying to make it, Mills did. Now Gates, whose family come from the Middlesbrough area, and he's found Brazil with a good early ball. Marin has gone to Brazil's right. Mills. And here's Gates again. One of his brothers, Bill Gates, was an old Middlesbrough stalwart. Referee this afternoon, David Axel from Southend. Just bouncing away from Mills. That was David Thomas with the header, then Burley. Now Ian Bailey. Burley again. Butcher did well for England in midweek. Good ball too, looking for Muren, but it came back quickly enough. An eager start here by both sides with so much to play for. Otto looking for Ross, and Cooper coming. And now Mills for Ipswich. Marin has gone down the right. Here he is. Nice turn, looks sharp there, brought down by Otto on the edge of the area. Maybe that the long enforced rest due to the Achilles operation has helped poor Mariner at this stage of the year in terms of freshness. Butcher's up for the free kick. Oh, and Mariner came in there unchallenged and away from the line by two defenders. Mariner was so close with the header, it came back off Jim Platt. Tony McAndrew was on hand there to help. He was totally unmarked when he went in on the free kick, Paul Mariner. And that one's easy for Platt, by comparison. Just scored the one goal since he came back, Paul Mariner, but he was left unattended there. They've got 2 against 2 up front here, no cover on. Mariner's flick, and there was space for Brazil, and they're oh, what a shot, first time by Brazil. I was about to say they're arriving from midfield, didn't have to. He hit it first time. And when you leave 2 defenders to mark Brazil and Mariner with no cover, that's the risk you run. The flick on from Mariner, and the instant shot from Brazil. There's Walk. Natras at the header. Back by Butcher. Mariner. Walk. Now Thomas. The referee felt that Mills pinched a few yards there. Burley. Gates looking for Muren. Well, Ipswich have hit the ball early, within range of goal in this opening quarter of an hour. Coming in without hesitation. Set up by Eric Gates and struck by Arnold Muren.
All over there, you know. Gates is over there, Brazil is there, Miller's over there, Walker's over there, Arnold's over there.
McAndrew's header on, and Walk's header back. Now Burley, Mills. Brazil started to make a run. In the way was Natras. That was Walk. And hooked back by Craggs. And on a windy day like this, a bounce like that can be deceptive. Not the most orthodox of saves, but it had to be made. Shearer, Otto, and now Craggs. Again, Ross is the man making the forward run from midfield for Middlesbrough. This is Shearer. Patient build-up with Craggs. Thomas going short. Butcher coming in over the top rather there on Hodgson. Hodgson had a look at the referee, but nothing given. And that's Brazil to Gates. And the runner's coming now from the Ipswich right. This is Burley, Mills outside him. Brazil coming short, leaving the space in the middle for Mariner. And now it's Walk. Gates. McCall moving up from left back. And the foul given against David Hodgson, who stretched, felt he played the ball, but in the referee's opinion, played the man. Muren into Gates. Past the keeper and out by Baxter. Lovely, delicate move from the free kick. Muren chipped Gates in. Platt came, past the goalkeeper. Baxter covering well. Those two Ipswich players combining so well from the free kick. Gates on the ball now. Oh, and Brazil did well to reach that. There's Walk! Oh, what a goal! John Walk, but Alan Brazil made it. cross came in beyond the far post. How did Brazil hook it back from that unlikely angle? But he did, and his Scottish colleague, John Walk, thumped it in first time. And for Walk, that makes it 23 goals this season for Ipswich, which is exactly the number he scored in domestic matches last season. The other 14 last year came in Europe and one in an international. So as far as league and cup games go, it's been just as good a season this time for John Walk as it was last. Lovely finish. It's a good-looking ball from Burley, but Baxter was reading it. Here's Bailey. And now it's Eric Gates. Oh, what a fine pass, Brazil. Mariner far side. Well, when they play like this, there's a quality and a simplicity about Ipswich that's good to see. Gates and Brazil combining, Brazil curling it across, and Mariner's header, not this time on target, but what a fine move. This is Shearer. Oh, that's an untimely challenge by Russell Osman. David Thomas for Middlesbrough. John Cragg's moving up on the right. They've got 4 in the centre here, 5 now. If it breaks down, it could be tricky, this, for Middlesbrough, because Ipswich have got more players at the moment in their half than Middlesbrough have, but there are a few who've got back now. And that's, oh, well, he could have let him go, but the whistle's gone, and the delay caused by Bailey not retreating, having fouled Gates, who then says, well, you have the ball if you want it that badly. And a little interchange there, which the referee's not very pleased about. Funnily enough, he could have possibly played an advantage and let Gates go in the first place. However, here's Mariner. Oh, brought down, was he, by Baxter? Tripped by Baxter on Mariner, and that may have been a booking as well. He was just working his way into a shooting position, Paul Mariner, and he needed that extra stride to set the shot up, and Baxter tripped him and got cautioned. Referee still talking to the Middlesbrough wall, wanting them the full 10 yards. It's Muren. It's there. He can curl them, can't he? So simple. But if you want to call it a continental goal, Muren won't mind. The delay seemed endless before the kick was taken, but Mills moved away, and Muren made it look so easy. 2-0 to Ipswich, 9 minutes before half-time. Muren scores his 5th goal of the season, and the fans here hope that he'll sign a new contract and stay on, because they've enjoyed watching him these last 4 years. There goes Brazil. Mariner's herring into the centre, so is Walk. Still Brazil. Side netting. John Cragg's debating with his fellow defenders, but at the moment they're being stretched first one side and then the other. It's Thomas. Otto. That's Thomas. That's a good effort. That's a splendid goal. Dave Thomas struck a beauty. Bobby Murdoch, the manager, out of the dugout. Thumbs up from the goal scorer. Strange that Dave Thomas, in his varied career, has always put goal scoring as his biggest weakness, and he produces one like that from way out, which flew away from Cooper and found the corner. Lovely goal, putting Middlesbrough back in the match. Burley. That's Mariner, back again to Mills. Walker's at the far post, heading it back in, but out. Well, John Walker scored a goal which probably was a candidate for goal of the month, and certainly the one that Middlesbrough got back at the other end will go into that category. Great strike from David Thomas. And the referee brings to an end an appetising first half in bright sunshine. John Walker, who's now scored 61 goals in 2 seasons, if you include his internationals. Arnold Muren, who showed you don't have to go to Brazil to see a free kick taken expertly. And then at the other end, an explosive shot from Dave Thomas. Ipswich have started an ambitious extension to the stand which houses our cameras. There's a new tier going on there, ready for the start of next season, which will give them nearly 5,000 extra seats and will increase the overall seating capacity here at Portman Road to 15,000. And the cost, modest in these days of expensive grandstands, £1.4 million. Ipswich start the second half, playing now from the right. Just 2 more games at home and 2 more away after this for Ipswich. It's their away record, if anything, which has let them down in this championship run-in this season. They've been doing very well here at Portman Road, but only 1 win in their last away matches, Ipswich. 8 away matches. Here's Craggs. And McAndrew is closing in here. That was Butcher again. And Baxter is up here, and McAndrew is in there with the cross, and John Walker with the header out, and here's Craggs. And Baxter's shot, there was a deflection on that. Off an Ipswich player for a corner. And these are anxious moments for Ipswich, and it's a very good spell by Middlesbrough. But that's floating wide. Mariner's made his run into the inside right position here. Foot coming in behind was from Natteras. And here's McCall. Just as Billy Ashcroft starts to warm up for Middlesbrough. Here's Gates. Nice turn. Oh, it ran on. Brazil just ducked slightly and it ran on, but nobody was coming in behind on Gates' cross. And Brazil rightly applauding Gates for his part in the build-up. David Shearer is coming off, and he'll be replaced by Billy Ashcroft, who is actually Middlesbrough's top scorer this season. Joint top scorer, but he's scored just 5. And on the Middlesbrough bench, Bobby Murdoch, doubtless sensing that if Middlesbrough can sustain their second half impetus, they've got a chance of salvaging something here. And Bailey takes the chance to run on. Outside him, McAndrew. And Ashcroft gets a header in, and Paul Cooper makes a very good save. This is not one of Ipswich's most impressive spells in the second half. The game is being very firmly taken to them by Middlesbrough. Short to Bailey. Thomas. That's his cross. It's come straight out to Baxter. And surely Brazil can get it away now. Mariner now is Ipswich's problem. He appears to me to have an injury. Bobby Robson's come onto the line to speak to him. He's not got any mobility at all, Mariner. I think he's hurt his back. And he's gone for some attention while they warm up the substitute. Steve McCall's challenge. Still Ipswich playing with 10 men. Craggs. Otto. Ashcroft is at the back here. That's his header, Ross. Oh, and they got into a terrible mess. Well, it was Craggs who blazed wide, but John Walk and Paul Cooper just got in each other's way. Butcher is telling Cooper to cool it a little, but Walk was the player who got confused with his own goalkeeper. In the meantime, Paul Mariner has come back. Brazil had run on, and Irving Nattrass saw what Mills was going to do, and then joined the Middlesbrough attack. Nattrass, and he's in there now. Looked to be a foul by Butcher on him, and Butcher is going to get booked. It's his second trip just outside the penalty area. And when Baxter did that in the first half, he was booked, and Ipswich scored from the free kick. Middlesbrough will be hoping for some sort of repeat here. Here's Nattrass with the floater. Not quite an Arnold Muren, but not a bad try by Irving Nattrass. Mills. Forward to Brazil. And Muren. Inside again, Mills. And they've got four waiting for Muren's cross. And that's Walk, and that's Baxter, and that's Gates, and that is Brazil, who says thank you very much, and the crowd are relieved. Eric Gates played his part in the goal and smiles to himself, but when Muren crossed, Ipswich always had chances. Baxter got one header in, but when it broke, Brazil showed why he scored so many goals this season. The principal reason is he's so cool in finishing positions. He completes his 25 goals for the season, and as he does so, Ipswich prepare to bring off Paul Mariner, who's been suffering with that back injury. And they'll replace him with Kevin O'Callaghan, who comes on for the last 5 minutes. And here's Bailey for Middlesbrough. McAndrew. Right across the goal. So Ipswich, after an uneasy spell in the first part of the second half, clinching the points. Paul Mariner obviously handicapped by the back injury, but the two managers shake hands. Bobby Robson reflecting maybe now that Ipswich have got to hope that Liverpool get beaten at Tottenham on Monday and open up the championship again for Ipswich. But for Bobby Murdoch, perhaps Middlesbrough looking doomed to second division football next season, and finding maybe this year that the loss of 4 key players at the end of last season was too much for the club to take. They had their moments today, particularly in terms of spirit in the second half, and that's probably what he's saying. But in the end, it was the man who was number 10, Alan Brazil, clinched the points, who saw his side come home by 3 goals to 1.
A brave attempt there by Middlesbrough to sustain a First Division future, but I'm afraid their chances look slender. Ipswich have a better chance of catching Liverpool, but they know only too well the reality of that situation.
We're really sort of getting the feeling now that perhaps we're going to be runners-up again. I would say that if Liverpool do lose the title and we win it, then I think they should take half our bonuses because they will have done more than what we have.
Well, they have got 4 of their last 5 games away from home, and they are playing at Tottenham on Monday night.
Yes, but I think you've got to work out how many points each side can get, and our maximum is 86 points, and it doesn't take very much for Liverpool to reach that figure. And that's the only figure they've got to reach because their goal difference is far, far superior than what ours is, and even if we won the last 4 matches, we could never make it up. And so really you're wanting Liverpool to, instead of to be playing like champions that they are at the moment, you're going to want them to sort of drop to sort of mid-division form, which it's really not Liverpool.
Our apologies, but we now have to interrupt Match of the Day for the moment. Well, welcome back. And so Ipswich keep up the pressure on Liverpool, which may not lose Liverpool too much sleep, but perhaps Brian Clough and his Nottingham Forest team, seeking a new winning blend, can bring an end to Liverpool's recent run of almost total success. Your commentator, Barry Davis.
Anfield's welcome to the champions-elect. No one has any doubt around this ground that by the time Liverpool play at home again, a 13th title will have been won, and their 5th in the last 8 seasons. And their line-up this afternoon is the same as that which set a new club record of 10 consecutive victories by winning at Southampton last week. The First Division record, and indeed the league record, is now within their grasp. And one of the fascinations of, in many ways, a curious season for Liverpool is that no less than 5 of that lineup will be winning their first championship medal. Among them, Ronnie Whelan, who's been the great success of the season, having made his way through from the junior sides to the reserves and to a very important place in the first team. And among those bought, the recent form of Craig Johnson, who's been here a little over a year, has been a revelation. That's the Nottingham Forest lineup. And because of injuries, they have a couple of unfamiliar names there. One making his debut, the other making only his 2nd appearance. It's Peter Davenport who makes his debut. And he was born not too far away from here in Birkenhead, and has been scoring goals consistently in the reserves, 23 in fact in 22 matches. And in goal this afternoon, in place of the injured Peter Shilton, is Steve Sutton, who's played 1 full game before, and that was away to Norwich in October of last season. The referee this afternoon is Neville Ashley of Nantwich in Cheshire. It's Nottingham Forest wearing their yellow strip, attacking the goal to our right. And they give an early feel of the ball to their goalkeeper. These 2 sides, of course, responsible for keeping the European Cup in England for the last 5 seasons. Task which now falls to Aston Villa to make it a 6th. Willie Young, now the skipper at Nottingham Forest. Kennedy. Needham got it wrong. Was he pulled? No flag and no whistle. Here's Dalglish. Still Dalglish. The Forest certainly got back in numbers. It seemed to me to be a bit of arm linking then, and at one moment actually Ian Rush and David Needham seemed to be holding hands. Thompson. Every Forest player in his own half. Johnston. Neal. Lawrenson. There's Jock Steen in the crowd. Johnston. Neal. Again, a couple of flicks that work so well. This is Lee. Anderson. Kennedy. Didn't give enough. Give it enough. Here's Anderson. Thompson. Kennedy. Showed good pace again. Gets the corner. No, he doesn't. Whelan. Bowyer. Lee. Shown a disappointment for the England under 21 captain. Wallace. Nice touch from Davenport. There's Proctor. Anderson. Rover to the right. Davenport in the middle with Wallace. Proctor square. Number 8. Young. Anderson. Wallace. Rober. Davenport left of the penalty spot. Certainly the best better possession that Forest have had. And here's Bowyer. Just a little unlucky. And the trip by Lawrenson on Davenport. It's a stretch for the ball. Strangely tripped a player who was running towards his own goal. They'll be pleased, I think, when it's half-time. Bowyer, often positioned in front of the back players. And hounding well. Here's Neal. Lawrenson. Gunn, who got there to take the ball at Lawrenson and pull back before Neal could get to it. Met by Young. Neal, offside against Rush. Good punch anyway by the goalkeeper. And we're now into the time that Mr. Ashley has noted for injuries and stoppages. And in fact, we come to the end of a curiously untidy half with a blank score sheet, which will certainly please 21-year-old Steve Sutton of Buxton in Derbyshire. Well, the half-time score will certainly give hope to the chasers. But how long will it stay this way? Young immediately in the action. And again. And Bowyer picking up where he left off in the first half. Robertson. Play on, says the referee. Anderson makes it his, for a moment at least. Young. Dalglish. And it was Rover who was covering the man on the far side, who was Rush. The pressure building from both front and behind on the young goalkeeper. Oh, and Dalglish got away from any sort of marking. They just couldn't really control the shot. Lee. Rush was miles offside. Robertson. Neil. Johnston. Neil now square. It's two good balls he played in the move. Dalglish. Good save by Sutton. Not fooled, not drawn away from the post, looking for a cross. Neil is now over there from the corner. Met by Anderson. Alan Kennedy, if it will settle for him. Johnston. Buried conclusively. And feelings of relief as well as those of delight. And Sutton beaten at last. It's a goal that's been a long time in coming. But the shot was certainly hammered in on that occasion. Lee, and some credit to Phil Neal for that goal, because it was he who started the move, he who was over for the corner. Really decided to get a grip of things then for Liverpool, did Phil Neal. Whelan, Johnston, and again Johnston, gone there first. Lee. It's his 6th goal of the season. Wallace. Proctor. Wallace. Barkley should have dispossessed him. Whelan. That's nice. Johnston. Good save. The ball came up a little bit off the deck, but a fine move that by Liverpool. And a nice reaction from Johnston to Sutton. As the ball came up, it helped the goalkeeper a bit, but even so, he saved well. Dalglish. 25 minutes to go, and more goals to come. Dalglish. Well, not then. Weber, Lawrenson, Whelan. Kennedy, Johnston. Where did he come from? Seemed to be what the defenders were asking, but Kennedy knew where he was, and Johnston stole in for his second. second goal coming in the 69th minute. Goal which, of course, puts Johnston on a hat-trick, which for sure will carry on the sequence of victories. And for the record, the First Division number is held by Sunderland, and that was set 90 years ago, total being 13. And the overall Football League record is at 14, held by 3 clubs, all of them when they were in the second division. Here's Robertson. Young. Davenport. Wallace. Ah, it was an enterprising piece of play. Bit of push and pull by Hansen and Wallace. But Wallace determined to get away. He certainly worried Bruce Grobbelaar a bit. To scamper back to see it fall over the crossbar. Dalglish, Johnston, Dalglish, Lee, and he covered the post again, had Sutton. Johnston involved in everything. I wonder whether the match will run its course without Dalglish scoring. And the delay is for the departure of Willie Young, and he's replaced by John McGovern. Anderson. Hansen on the counter. They've got a man over. Dalglish. Grobbelaar available. Could bend a bit sharply. Back in January, when everybody was writing off Liverpool, Bob Paisley wrote in the club programme, the league is still our aim, and we've just got to go and get as high as we possibly can. And look where they've arrived. Lee, Dalglish down the middle, Johnston to the right, Rash on the far post, now coming across. McGovern. Kennedy. And again Kennedy. And Johnston is on the far post. Ross, what a good save. Kennedy. Kennedy not to be outdone. Lawrenson. Goal kick. But he made an instinctive save from Ian Rush from pretty point-blank range, denying Rush what would have been goal number 29. So a personal triumph for Craig Johnston, who turns to applaud the Kop. Both the goals in the second half, and what started up as being an easy afternoon for Liverpool in the end proves to be so. And of the Forest side, I think only 21-year-old Steve Sutton will remember this match for too long. 3 more points, and can there be any question about the title or the arrival of Craig Johnston as a vital member of the team? Liverpool 2, Nottingham Forest 0.
On reflection, there could only have been one winner of that game, but Liverpool still had to find a way of converting pressure into goals. Steve Sutton, Nottingham Forest's competent young keeper, made it difficult for them, and in a naturally, abundantly enthusiastic Liverpool team, both Alan Kennedy and Craig Johnson stood out from the rest. But it was Johnson's finishing that turned the game.
Are you enjoying this role? Because I'm told that you don't, actually.
I enjoy playing for Liverpool, but you know, everybody asks me this. I consider myself a midfielder. You know, but I can't get a game in midfield for Liverpool, so I'll play up front. I'll play anywhere to get a game for Liverpool.
People, of course, are going to draw comparisons with the style of Kevin Keegan when he was here, maybe even still.
Well, they have been for a long time, and all I can say is, you know, if they're still doing that in 10 years' time, well, that'll do me. So you're... not that I try to be like him or anything like that. You know, it's just the way I play, I just don't try to be like him, but I am, and like I say, if they're still saying that in 10 years' time, I'd be a proud person.
Can you explain why you've been so successful since you came into the team?
Well, I don't think I've been successful. You know, I've always worked hard, and that's what the Liverpool staff want, people that'll work hard. And it's Liverpool that's successful, not me. You know, every player that plays for Liverpool is a real good player, and then they're all successful.
But they do have a knack of taking somebody who's considered to be one sort of player and making him another sort of player.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. You know, but above anything, that they ask for total commitment. You know, maybe that's where other clubs fall down. You know, they can get special types of players, but if they're not 100% committed, that's probably why they don't win things like Liverpool do.
With the top two both winning, Liverpool remain 4 points clear of Ipswich with a game in hand. The only movement, Manchester United go third above Swansea. United beat Southampton with a Scott McGarvey goal, while Swansea lost 3-1 at home to Everton. So clearly it's now just a two-horse race, although Liverpool fans will tell you they're already past the post. But compare the run-in for the respective clubs and there's still a chance that Ipswich could snatch the title. Liverpool's 5 remaining games include 4 away from Anfield, beginning on Monday at Tottenham. In fact, North London could play a significant part in deciding the championship, with Liverpool at Arsenal on May the 11th. Ipswich have 4 games left, split evenly, 2 home, 2 away, and their final match is also against Tottenham, 5 days before Spurs meet Queen's Park Rangers in the Cup final. Sadly, I have to report more crowd trouble today. It came at Highbury, where Arsenal kept alive their hopes of playing in Europe next season by beating West Ham 2-0. Graham Rix and Alan Sunderland got the goals in a first half that overran by 12 minutes after crowd trouble had caused the referee to take both teams off shortly after kick-off. Arsenal manager Terry Neal condemned the rioting fans by saying, "What sort of parents produce mindless morons like those we saw today? It's frightening. If this sort of thing continues, then we won't have a game left." Well, I don't think anyone would disagree with those words, and we've just heard that a young man was stabbed to death outside Highbury shortly after the match. Police were still trying to identify him this evening. Tragic news, and the senselessness of it all just makes you despair. Back to the tables, and at the bottom of Division 1, Birmingham, Sunderland and West Bromwich Albion all improved their chances of survival by winning. Birmingham's 4-1 success at Notts County was their first away win in the league since November 1980. And West Brom moved up 3 places after their 2-1 victory at Wolves. Leeds and Stoke drew at Elland Road. In Division 2, Luton gained promotion last night, and Watford, who drew at Charlton today, will join them if they beat Wrexham at home in midweek. But just look at the battle for that 3rd promotion place. Only 4 points cover the next 6 clubs. Norwich, Queen's Park Rangers, Barnsley and Rotherham all won. Norwich's 4-1 victory at Leicester was their 6th on the trot, while Rangers' 7-1 thrashing of Bolton kept them on course for an FA Cup and promotion double. Pools, and with 6 score draws and 9 no-score draws, the dividend forecast is fairly good. Claimed by Telegram for 22 points, and the score draw numbers 13, 22, 25, 41, 44 and 50. The no-score numbers 2, 3, 5, 15, 20, 21, 27, 28 and 49. Finally, in Scotland, Celtic are on the brink of their 33rd championship. Today they played Hibernian at Parkhead and treated the fans to a hatful of goals.
Reed. Patterson in again, playing very well for Hibs. His interceptions very timely, positional sense very good. But Provan has it now, and on the outside, Danny McGrain, there's Buns, will let fly again. It's a great goal. Oh yes. Buns. Sullivan. Bit of colour. Is onside. 2-0. Provan to take it. Lot of curl towards the far post. There's a header. Simple goal. Aiken came up. Rose above everybody else. There's Buns. And again, neatly forward. McCluskey, will he get a touch? He does. And there's the fourth one. I think, in fact, Mudder McLeod put that over. Sullivan. There's the chip. It's there, yes. Mudder McLeod, number 5. That's the lineup again as Celtic prepare to take the free kick. They've tried 3 different varieties of free kick from this similar position. There's a different one again. That's McCluskey, yes. Number 6.
Well, now it's competition time, and first the result of April's Goal of the Month competition. And the first postcard pulled out of the sack with the correct order of AEG was sent in by Mr. Peter Wood of 4 Holder Drive, Cannock, Staffordshire. Well done, Mr. Wood. £100 worth of TV licence tokens are on their way to you for selecting as Goal of the Month this goal that put Aston Villa into the final of the European Cup. It was scored by Tony Morley.
Cowans for Villa. Turned on by Shaw. Cowans again. Morley.
Well, you'll remember that Tony Morley won our Goal of the Season competition last time, and undoubtedly the goals we've just seen will be fancied this time round. But the standard is high, as you'll realise now as we show you 8 splendid goals this week, which together with 8 you'll see next week make up this season's competition. The prize will be £300 worth of premium bonds, and as always you'll be looking for the best 3 out of the 16. Here come this week's 8, beginning with goal A, scored by Mark Falco for Tottenham Hotspur against Aston Villa in the Charity Shield way back in August.
Ardiles, Archibald, Ardiles, Falco. Good play! Oh, what a great goal by Mark Falco!
Rajkovic in before Harris. The feed to Alan Curtis, perfect. Cherry's with him. Oh, what a sidestep. What a shot and what a goal!
Rhoda for Rangers. Oh, what a good piece of skill. And he's still going. Number 6, Rhoda. Tyson, Muren, Walk leaving it for O'Callaghan, beating Hibbett, beating Palmer. Oh, I say, what a finish! Archibald.
Oh, good try! And what a lovely goal!
Phil Parks came for it, is White. It's White with a chance, and he scored.
Butterworth, even then, was prepared to play the right ball, not just hoof it anywhere. This is Bodak. Would he go in on goal? Oh, he tried the most delightful trip.
Crooks via Hazard, who's looked bright and lively since he came on. Has he done enough? Galvin surely nods it back for Crooks. What a terrific goal by Tottenham.
8 more goals and how to enter next week. Well, that's it for tonight. There's still plenty of domestic excitement to come this season in all divisions before we contemplate the World Cup. That's all being well, but if, as looks likely, Liverpool regain the First Division Championship, they'll be grateful to Middlesbrough for giving a trial to a young player from Australia and eventually selling him to them, so that after the customary qualifying period in Liverpool reserves, Craig Johnston could become a match winner, perhaps a title winner. Good night.
Johnston, buried conclusively. Kennedy, Johnston.